but that keeper slot, be it keeper batsman or batsman keepers, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, but that's, sometimes I feel it's almost a problem being an all-rounder because you're looked at in a different way. You're saying that, okay, this is the slot that you're playing for. But he's, as I said, I feel Washington Sundar is a good enough batsman that if he didn't bowl also, he's a prospect in your top 6. He's really, really good. And similarly, you take Sanju as well. The beauty about Sanju is that you can play Sanju in a position, he can bat at 3, 4, 5, 6. Ishan, you always feel with Ishan Kishan that if you don't open with him, you're losing. He's not really as effective for you batting slightly lower down the order. Whereas I think Sanju gives you value whichever way. In fact, Sanju's average, if you see, it's surprising the limited number of opportunities he got. The number of not outs he has is quite interesting. He's actually been, for his reputation as a guy talented batsman who gives his wicket away, he's got a lot of innings which he has held together in international cricket. And that's a side of Sanju which I just think we've just not had enough chances to see, sadly.
Well, the competition is not just...
Also, GB, in the same breath, I'm sorry for cutting in. In the same breath, because of the amount of cricket that's played and the different formats that we play, I think the whole cricketing world is getting a little juxtaposed of Rishabh Pant's form in T20 with one-day cricket. We need to look at it separately. In one-day cricket, in the last 10 innings, he averages 45 plus. He's got obviously that match-winning score of 120 in England in the recently concluded series in England. So he's done very well for himself. And when somebody has done well for himself, you cannot look at the T20 and say, oh, he should be removed from the one-day cricket. I think, you need to give him the opportunity to be out there, do well. And if he doesn't do well, then move on. But you can't just move away because he's done something else in another format. I think that's something that's unfair to the player as well. I think because of the amount of cricket, especially T20 that is played, it's obviously they're comparing that and they're adding that as scores and saying, oh, he hasn't done well. That's not how we need to look at things.
I just want to add to that, DK, it's also that where they also have to decide where they want to play him. Are they positioning him as a third opener? At some point, they were looking at him as the opening slot. They were putting him in the middle order. So he's been moved around a bit as well, and that can't be easy for him as well. And he's got 3 50-plus scores in the last 10. I mean, if you look at it in real terms.
Joy, if you look at it, Joy, let's be honest here. If you look at it, Joy, there is Shikhar and Rohit to open, which looks very certain. Yeah. And then Virat Kohli at 3, who's unmovable.
Yeah.
All right, we have that number 4 slot that is hanging. KL Rahul at this point, we need to remember, is the vice captain of the team. So I'd be very surprised, if anything goes. So we're talking, and then 6 and 7 is Hardik and Jadeja, and then we go down to bowlers. Let's go down there. So there is one spot that we're talking about at number 4. Is it going to be Rishabh, Sanju Samson, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rajat Patidar, Rahul Tripathi? I mean, we can keep adding names here. Come on now. How can
Washington Sundar. I'll put Washington Sundar in there as well. He'll give you a 7th option, bowling option as well.
Absolutely. But I wouldn't put him at 4, but I get what you're saying.
I can tell you what one member who will not be up for selection for the ODI series and will be back for the test, and let's put that India squad up and we'll update you with that, is the man we've just been talking about. Whether or not you talk about white ball format or red ball format, much publicized his little chat with Harsha recently where he basically looked at red versus white ball, but interestingly DK says don't just look at red versus white ball, separate white ball into T20 and ODI cricket. Rishabh Pant has been released from the India squad for the ODIs for medical reasons and will join the team for the test matches, which is why dramatically in front of our eyes the name turns red. So Ishan Kishan, the only other wicket-keeping option open for this.
Interesting. I hope he recovers fast, whatever it is. And he's actually, if you look at it, he's been playing almost non-stop cricket or has been, non-stop with the team and this thing. So perhaps, sometimes it's just necessary to go home, spend a few days chilling away, and these 7, 8, 9 days that he'll get are very useful for him, I think, and it's good for him.
I was just looking at a stat which said the most number of matches played in most number of days played for the country. Number 1 is Mohammad Rizwan at 71, and Rishabh Pant comes in at 2 with 69. That's a lot of international cricket there. And you got to also understand there have been a lot of games where he hasn't played but been part of the team. Add that as well, and that is far more than Mohammad Rizwan as well. So it's good that he's taken a break. I hope he's okay medically. If they're giving him medical leave, it must be something. So I'm assuming that he gets well soon, because I'm sure Team India will definitely require him for Test cricket.